Hey everybody, Scott here, the Poor Prepper. Yesterday I went and did a walkthrough of the Super Walmart in Tucson at Speedway and Kolb. Laughing my butt off the whole time. Today I took my mom to the Golden Corral, a graveyard. It was empty. Easy to get to the food, had all the food I wanted. Didn't have to wait for more fried chicken, it was already there. Didn't have to wait for the fish, didn't have to wait for anything. Yummy food, oh man, loved it. Then I took her to the Super Walmart up at the El Con Mall in Tucson. Laughed my ass off. My mom was nearly cussing up a storm. What's wrong with America? Why is everything disappearing from the shelves? What's wrong with these people? And I just kept laughing and telling my mom, the average people are panicking. The media has spent the last month and a half, 2 months, whipping the American people into a panic, into a frenzy, and this is the result. Their hatred of the president is so much they would rather see only God knows how many tens of thousands of innocent Americans hurt rather than do something that work with the president. Yeah, okay, fine. That's the world we live in, people. Accept it. You want to change it? Run for political office. Other than that, just accept it, because guess what? That's all we got. Live your life as best you can. If you want to try and change the world, run it, go into politics. Now, the fun thing here are the shelves. Toilet paper, paper towels, all that stuff. The shelves are empty. The entire row of shelves empty. Yesterday, I stopped at the Walmart at Speedway and Kolb. A guy was pallet jacking a pallet of bottled water to the spot where they put it normally. Why he even bothered putting it in that spot is beyond me. He could have just left it right in the middle of an aisle and people would, scarfed it up. And I asked him, how long do you think this pallet will last? And he said, about 10 minutes. That's what we got going on now, people. Total, complete panic. Now, preppers, we're not worried. Why? Because we have spent, in my case, being a poor prepper, I prep a little bit. I try to get a little bit every paycheck. And over the course of 4 or 5 years, I've acquired enough stuff. I got the dollar store toilet paper. I got 85 packs of it. I'm not worried. Paper towels, I got a lot of it. Not as much as toilet paper, but I got a lot of it. Bottled water in glass jars. And, the list can go on and on. Oh, yes, people, I touched my face. Guess what? I'm not worried because in my home there is no coronavirus. There's no flu virus. There's no swine flu virus. In my house, there's nothing. See, I'm not worried because my house is clean and I actually don't allow virus into my house. In fact, I almost never allow a visitor into my house. But, ladies and gentlemen, preppers, most of us have not been through a hurricane. Those who have been through a hurricane can look at this and go, yeah, I encountered something similar to that just before a hurricane. The rest of us have not. This is a learning experience. This is what's going to happen when the poop really does hit the fan. I mean, seriously hit the fan. And it's 1, 2, 3 days into a panic. Look at your Walmart. Look at whatever grocery store you want to look at. You can get a good idea of what the panic is going to be a few days into a panic when the poop really does hit the fan. Now, people are like, Corona this, Corona that. You know what? I don't like coronavirus. I don't like Corona beer. Don't. I'm not worried about either of them. Ladies and gentlemen, think about something else. Think about this. The coronavirus, nobody really knows how many people in America will be infected. Nobody really knows how many people in America will die. Always remember, nobody wants to get infected. Nobody wants to die. These are people. They're human beings. They're people. They are not statistics. The media and the government will treat them as statistics. The rest of us, let's not treat them as statistics. Let's treat them as people. In, what was it, 2008, 2009 timeframe, we had the H1N1, otherwise known as the swine flu. Where did that originate? That's right, China. You know, it's amazing. How many of these, swine flu, bird flu, this flu, that flu, is China bioengineering these things and setting them loose just to see how well they work? But set that aside. There's no way to quantify an answer on that. The swine flu, H1N1, 13,000 people died. 300,000 roughly were hospitalized. And I'm just pulling numbers out of my head from what I've heard. Like 60 million were infected. Now back in 2009, 60 million, you're talking 1 out of every 5 people in America. People, I don't think, no, let me rephrase that. I honestly do not believe that this coronavirus, COVID-19, choose whatever name you want, the Wuhan, Wu-Tang, whatever province flu, I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as bad as the swine flu. I don't think we will have as many people infected. I don't think we might, you never know. How many people get the seasonal flu? How many people die of the flu? 40, 50,000. I don't even think this is going to be as bad. We are treating this like the end of the universe, like it's a rip in the space-time continuum. I think because of all the preparations that the government and the people of America, through panic, are taking, this could end up being a very mild thing. I'm thinking at the moment it's not going to be as bad as the swine flu. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. You know what? Only time will tell. But ladies and gentlemen, it always comes down to one thing. Why are you panicking? Why? You know what the bad part is? When all this is said and done, everything's done. All these people who went out and cleared the stores of toilet paper, paper towels, canned goods, frozen foods. When all this is said and done, the stores get restocked. And what are these people going to do? Instead of learning from their mistake and starting to stockpile and prepare for the next bad incident, whether it be a flu, virus, whatever, maybe the sun's going to send a solar storm that's going to burn up all of our electrical wires. Who knows? The possibilities are endless, but 99% of the people who are panicking now are not going to start stockpiling and preparing for the next one. 1% maybe will start stockpiling, and they'll kind of do it, in a half rear-ended manner. I don't want to cuss. Sorry. Some of them might even get on YouTube to see some videos and actually do some real prepping. But what's going to happen? They're going to start going through all those toilet paper, paper towels, canned goods, frozen foods. And once the stores get stocked, they're not going to be making as many sales as they used to. And then the media is going to go, oh my God, we're into a recession. No, we're not. We're into a situation where all those people who panicked and started hoarding all this stuff, they're actually using it. They're not going to go to the store until they need more, which could easily take a month, 2 months at that point. So people, after this is all over, we're still going to have another panic by the media, and we're just going to have to wait it out, and hopefully, well, no, the media will never learn. They hate the president more than they love America. Bottom line, that's the truth. Until they love America more than they hate the president, nothing's going to change, and we're going to be going downhill as a nation. That's why I prepare. America is going downhill because one group of people hate, and their hatred is so visceral that I don't see America making it through it in my lifetime. Sometime before I die, I believe America is going to fall apart. For those people who are wondering what I'm getting at, Look at the Soviet Union. Why did the Soviet Union, yes, Bernie Sanders loved it, but why did the Soviet Union collapse and fall apart and break apart into all those numerous countries? Investigate it and find out. I'll tell you right now, they spent themselves to death. When it was said and done, Russia refused to, and all the other countries said, we're not paying our debt, we're not paying that. You can go to hell, we're not paying that. And that's why the Russian money cratered, and it still hasn't come back worth a darn. But the Soviet Union spent themselves to death, and guess what country here in the Western Hemisphere is doing the same thing, spending themselves to death? I'll give you a hint. This country lays between Canada and Mexico, and they have an ocean on each side. You might want to look at this and start investigating. You might want to start preparing, because America is not going to survive another 50 years at the rate they're going. They're spending themselves to death. At some point, you got to pay the piper. At some point, you got to pay your bills. So ladies and gentlemen, you might want to start thinking and use this as a learning experience and start preparing for the future. You guys have a good night, and if you got any questions, poorprepper13@gmail.com, or just leave a feedback at this video. Thank you. Bye-bye.